13 ways that, mentally strong, women stay that way. 1. They don't compare themselves with other people, whether you're looking at Instagram photos of a celebrity's vacation or you're hearing your friend talk about her latest race. Comparing yourself with others is tempting, but every minute you spend comparing your life with someone else's life is 60 seconds you aren't focusing on your goals. 2. They don't insist on perfection. Perfectionism has a cruel, ironic twist. It will cause you to experience such high levels of stress that your performance will actually become impaired. Establish high expectations for yourself, but don't set the bar impossibly high. 3. They don't see vulnerability as a weakness. Your game face definitely serves a purpose. It shows people you're serious. But asking for help, acknowledging your weaknesses, and admitting you don't have all the answers aren't signs of weakness. 4. They don't let self-doubt stop them from reaching their goals. Your brain will try to convince you that you're not good enough, capable enough, or smart enough. But don't believe everything you think. Your brain will underestimate you. 5. They don't overthink everything, rehashing the same things over and over again and worrying about everything that could go wrong wastes precious time and mental energy. And it will take a toll on your psychological well-being. Commit to problem solving and productive action rather than ruminating and overthinking. 6. They don't shy away from tough challenges, whether it's a promotion to a leadership position or an uncomfortable conversation you need to have with a friend. Avoiding tough challenges will keep you stuck. Face your fears one small step at a time, and you'll gain confidence in yourself. 7. They don't fear breaking the rules. From a young age, many girls are taught the importance of being polite and well-mannered. But it's the rule breakers who change the world. 8. They don't put others down to lift themselves up. It may be tempting to try to elevate your own status by pointing out someone else's flaws, but genuine cheerleaders are the ones who really succeed in life. 9. They don't allow others to limit their potential. Whether someone told you that you'd never amount to anything, or you got turned down for a promotion, other people can limit your potential if you let them. Build belief in yourself, and you won't let criticism or rejection stop you. 10. They don't blame themselves when bad things happen. While it's important to accept personal responsibility when you make a mistake, toxic self-blame does more harm than good. Saying I made a bad choice is much more productive than thinking I am a bad person. 11. They don't stay silent. From business meetings to social gatherings, studies show that women don't get nearly as much airtime as men. Speak up and find your authentic voice so you can be heard. 12. They don't hesitate to reinvent themselves. As you mature, your personality, priorities, and values will shift, and so should you. Whether you make a complete career shift at age 40, or you decide to embrace your spirituality at 60, reinventing yourself is key to personal growth. 13. They don't fear owning their success. Women are afraid of looking arrogant or too ambitious. Even when complimented, they're likely to pass the credit on to someone else or give an immediate compliment back. Practice giving a simple thank you and own your achievements. Build your mental muscle. Fortunately, everyone has the ability to build more mental muscle by changing the way they think, feel, and behave. And the best way to grow mentally stronger is to work smarter, not just harder, by giving up the unhealthy habits that are holding you back. Now let's talk about physical strength and how it benefits your mental health. How working on your physical strength can make you mentally strong. Many people assume that fitness and strength training is all about building a strong body. But if you regularly sweat it out during a strength training session, zen out in a yoga class, or hit the pavement for an after-work run, you'll build more than a strong body, you'll also build a strong mind. But how exactly does fitness not just improve your physical strength but your mental strength? Let's take a look at 4 science-backed ways exercise can help you strengthen your brain while you're strengthening your muscles. Exercise builds resilience. Exercise can help you build a lot of muscle, but it can also help you build resilience. In one study, researchers examined how exercise impacts rats' capacity to deal with stress. During the study, rats were split into 2 groups. a group that regularly exercises and a group that didn't. The rates were then introduced to an external stressor, cold water. After being introduced to the water, researchers measured the rats' brain activity after being exposed to the cold water and found that rats who regularly exercised were able to better regulate their stress and anxiety response than their sedentary counterparts. So, what does this mean for humans? While more research is needed, this study points to the idea that regular exercise may actually change the way your brain responds to stress, increasing resilience and better equipping you to deal with any stressors that may come your way. Exercise improves your mood. Exercise does your body good, but, as it turns out, it also does your mind good. Exercise produces a variety of feel-good neurotransmitters and hormones, including dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, which can deliver a major boost to your mood. Plus, research has found that people who exercise regularly experience significantly less depression, anger, and stress than people who exercise infrequently or not at all. So, next time you find yourself in a bad mood and want to get yourself to a happier, better place, getting your sweat on may be just what you need to give your mood a much-needed boost. Exercise increases self-esteem. One major element of being mentally strong is feeling good about who you are. And a solid way to increase self-esteem and start feeling better about yourself? You guessed it, fitness. Research has found that exercise can have a positive effect on self-esteem. So, if you have moments where you struggle with challenging feelings about yourself, your character, or your value, and let's be real, who doesn't? Lacing up your shoes and getting in a good workout may really help you to start pushing your self-esteem in the right direction. Exercise can help to inspire better habits. Exercise is one of the best habits you can cultivate for your health, both mental and physical. But exercise isn't just a good habit in itself. If you get into the habit of regular exercise, it can actually help you cultivate other good habits and help make you a happier, healthier person all around. This concept, that successfully changing one behavior for the better can also help you change other behaviors, is called the domino effect, and there's science to back it up. A study from Northwestern University's Feinberg School of Medicine found that when participants reduced their sedentary time each day, they also ended up reducing their daily fat intake, even though they weren't instructed to change their eating habits. Or in other words, when people replace the time they spent on the couch with more productive activities, they also, by default, curb their snacking, cutting back on fatty, not so healthy foods. So, if you don't regularly exercise, and then change that behavior and get into an exercise routine, that one change can have a domino effect, inspiring changes to other areas of your life. For example, as you get into the habit of exercising, you might also start eating better, curb your screen time, or start meditating, even if changing your diet, limiting your TV time, or learning to meditate weren't your original goals. Use exercise to get stronger physically and mentally. Exercising is one of the best ways to build physical strength, but it's a great way to build mental strength too. And now that you know exactly how working on your physical strength can make you mentally strong, all that's left to do, get out there and make exercise a priority and become stronger, mentally and physically, in the process. Strong women need emotionally strong men. Strong women are beautifully strong and powerful. They are beautiful creatures that many men admire from afar, but only very few are brave enough to date them. Their kind of intensity is difficult for some men to understand. They aren't submissive. They aren't people pleasers. They are strong-willed and bold. Strong women don't have an attitude. They have standards. It takes strong men to understand the emotional chaos that comes up with this type of woman. These are the women who cannot be silenced, controlled, or micromanaged. The daring, beautiful, smart, funny, interesting, successful women who bring a lot to the table themselves do not want to settle for less than their desires and preferences and settle for just any man. The horror! Strong women have endured many battles that broke them, but they learned to pick themselves up and never gave up. They have been let down, insulted, or betrayed by their loved ones, Broken women blossom into warriors. Strong women have been hurt before and don't have time for games. My past is painful, but it is a reminder I can handle anything and make it through even stronger than before. My upbringing has taught me to put myself first. Strong women are gold diggers. They don't know what defeat is. If things didn't work one way, oh well, they change the plan, but they stick to the goal. They are flexible in their methods of reaching their goals. Strong women got their strength by climbing out of dark and deep pits. They've swum in vicious waters without drowning. They are strong because they are survivors. Strong women are stubbornly independent emotionally, financially, and spiritually. I will split bills on dinner dates. I will put a cap on how much boyfriends are allowed to spend on me during anniversaries and holidays to make sure we're spending around the same amount. I will never put myself in a position where a man can hold money over my head. I will never let someone buy my affection. I will never let someone buy my respect. I want to be able to look around and say, I did this all on my own. I don't want to feel like I owe anyone else. I don't want to be guilt-tripped into keeping someone toxic around because they helped me with a few payments. I work hard. I pay my bills. I work smarter to get the perfect balance between my job and my hobbies. I sweat it out. I meditate. I tumble. I work on my product ideas. I mentor teams on Agile. I pitch my business ideas. Be it beating my record of holding handstands for minutes, my deadlifts, my stage performances, or my team meetings, I prepare myself and give my best shot. I maintain myself. When you see me, that's all me. I'm not funded. I do the funding. Strong girls are easy to fall for and hard to get over. They are the best any man could ever have. Other people can disappoint me. They can leave me. They can screw me over. The only person who is guaranteed to remain around is myself. That is why I have to reach a place of self-acceptance. One needs to learn to love myself so getting hurt by someone else does not unravel my whole sense of self. I have to learn to be happy on my own because other people will come and go. Nothing is forever. All strong women suffer from being overly ambitious, addicted to success, and allergic to average. These might be the qualities to admire someone, but I have been rejected by men who told me that I am too ambitious and goal-oriented. Should I feel bad for it now? I want a relationship like Eleanor and Chidi. They bring out the best in each other. They are the best versions of themselves when they are around each other. They like who they are when they are around each other. Every breakup brings you one step closer to the right relationship. Your elevation requires your isolation. Get a man that stays obsessed with you, not just in the beginning. You'll be amazed at what you attract after you start believing in what you deserve. God made Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve, so when girls realize men need them more than you need them, you're gonna rule the world. Chase connections and clarity with people who put in the same effort you do. Don't chase someone who doesn't give a damn about you. Don't. You can't help who you attract, but you are responsible for who you entertain. Forget her looks. How about her insane work ethic, her unstoppable ambition, and her ridiculous dope soul? Make your own money so a man has nothing but loyalty to offer you. Strong women aren't high maintenance. You're just low effort. She's beautiful in a way the world doesn't understand, for the world only understands what the eyes can see. But the beauty she has is the rarest of all, for it's the type you feel with every part of your soul. Strong women need strong men that will be able to take their opinion and not feel threatened or insulted. Men that will listen to them and will be eager to engage in constructive conversations. Men that are straightforward and sincere. Strong women like to have things cut and dry because they do not like things to be vague or ambiguous. Strong women deserve men that will respect their independence. They don't want to be glued to a man because they have a life of their own. They deserve men that will understand that they will not always be available because they are always working on their careers and goals. Strong women deserve men that will support them and won't hold them back. Strong women deserve men that are confident. Strong women do not have the time or energy to emotionally groom a man's self-esteem. She doesn't need to babysit a man. That should have been his mother's duty. They deserve men that are secure within their abilities and are comfortable in their own skin. Strong women deserve men that love hard. Strong women are very passionate and they love everything they've got. They don't do half-ass love. They don't want mediocre love. They are searching for a strong connection. They aren't just looking for someone to love. They're looking for a soulmate. They want someone that will add value to their life. They want a deep connection, and it takes strong men to go that deep. Strong women don't deserve someone who comes back. You deserve someone who never leaves. Strong women deserve men that are emotionally strong. Not just physical strength, but the strength that comes from the inside. Men that have the strength to stand tall with them in the face of adversity. They deserve men that can face any challenges head-on and won't leave when life went rough. They deserve men that can navigate with them through oceans of uncertainty and madness. Strong women are not looking for a savior. They are looking for another warrior that is strong enough to fight the toughest battles alongside them and not for them. Strong women deserve emotionally strong men to be there for them when they are tired. Strong women get tired of always having to be the strong ones. It's plain exhausting. They deserve men that can provide comfort whenever it's needed. They deserve strong arms to hold them tightly when they are breaking apart. They want a set of lips that speak kind words that lift them when they are falling. They deserve men that understand that even the strongest women have weak moments. Strong women deserve men that are a bit stronger to pull them out of the dark and bring out to the light when they can't find their way out. Strong women deserve men that will grow with them as they continue exploring the world. Strong women deserve men that recognize and acknowledge their strengths and respect them for all that they are. Strong women deserve men that will celebrate all their wins and will support them through their losses. Strong women deserve emotionally strong men that can handle the intensity, fierceness, and independence that their strength portrays. It takes emotionally strong men to handle the intelligence, honesty, love, and madness a strong woman brings. Find someone who wants to invest in you, learn from you, see you win, support your vision, and fall in love with you daily. Relationships only succeed if the couple works as a team with mutual goals and continuously enables one another to be the best of who they are without strain. Anything other than that, and you're at risk of sacrificing everything you've achieved. Don't let your efforts go to waste on a dingbat. You've worked too hard for that. Embrace the freedom. Live for the now, and when the time is right, everything else will fall into place. Don't prove your haters wrong, prove your lovers right. Now let's talk about knowing your worth as a woman. It means you have to set boundaries and don't tolerate a man that disrespects you, treats you badly, doesn't show interest in you as a person or partner, verbally insults you, cheats on you, or physically abuses you, etc. If you stay and tolerate it, then you don't know your worth. If you don't make it clear that these behaviors won't be tolerated, actions speak louder than words, then you don't know how to set boundaries. It shows low self-esteem and that you think your value is determined by having a relationship, even when the relationship is unhealthy. Here are 5 tips for women to find self-worth. In today's society, women are constantly being subjected to expectations about beauty, relationships, careers, and more. It's hard to find and maintain self-worth when we live in fear of whether we're meeting societal standards of what it means to be a woman. It can be hard, but in order to find our value and worth as women, we have to look within ourselves, not out at the world. Self-worth will set rules that tell others how to treat you. It will show others what you see in yourself and what you expect from them. With self-worth comes confidence, esteem, and personal growth. We're often our own worst critic, but by digging a little deeper and following these 5 tips, you'll be able to see all the good you bring into the world. 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. No matter how hard you try, you'll never feel worthy if you don't kick the habit of comparing yourself to others. It's something we all do, and it becomes increasingly easier thanks to social media. We're exposed to pictures of other people's lives, their vacations, their clothing, their achievements. It can make us feel like we're less successful, leaving us wanting something we don't have. If this sounds like you, take a break from social media, or at least be mindful of when you do this. Remember, we only post our best lives for the world to see. We all experience setbacks, hardships, and low self-esteem. Take the time to think about what you do have and be appreciative for that. 2. Do what makes you feel good. Society will always tell women that we should wear more or less makeup, be skinnier or curvier, or dress a certain way. Your self-worth is not derived from meeting these standards. And if you live your life trying, you'll never be fulfilled. Your self-worth stems from doing what makes you feel good. If that means wearing lipstick, go for it. If it means becoming a CEO, don't stop until you meet those goals. People will always have an opinion about what you should do. You can't make everyone happy, but you can make yourself happy if you ask yourself what you want. 3. Make things happen. Now that you know what you want, go get it. Things won't always come easy, but if you try and keep trying, you will make progress. Confidence develops when we overcome challenges. Don't give up because you failed once, or twice, or 100 times. There is always room for improvement. 4. Don't beat yourself up. Negative self-talk will do you no good. Maybe you told yourself you'd go for a run but then got too busy. Maybe you missed a deadline for no reason other than you totally forgot. Guess what? It happens. We are all human. Don't sweat the small stuff and don't beat yourself up about it. Self-improvement isn't a once-in-a-lifetime shot. It's a work in progress, so enjoy the ride. 5. Only you can define you. No matter what you do, remind yourself that there is no right or wrong way to be you. When we learn how to be ourselves, a new world will open up. Explore new hobbies, interests, and possibilities. Welcome trial and error into your life. Signs your girlfriend is bad news. We all want that one special relationship that sets the rest of them apart. You probably lust after this idea of a woman who is smart, beautiful, funny, and okay, a little kinky. You probably also want everyone in your life to love her just as much as you do, especially the guys who, hopefully, will be around for group dates, ball games, watching the game together, and maybe traveling with their significant others. But the big problem in your master plan and grand dream is when your girlfriend doesn't get along with your friend group. Maybe even scarier when your friends are actively telling you that, sorry bro, this guy is bad news. Even though it may be tough for you to see it through your rose-colored Ray-Bans, the truth may be right there lying next to you. The woman you love may be bad for you, and your relationship could be pretty damn toxic. Dating expert and matchmaker Sarah Pat says everyone stays in bad relationships for different reasons, but if you notice some of these big warning signs, it's time to reconsider your commitment to a lady who doesn't deserve your affection. 1. You don't think you could do any better. If you threw your mental checklist of everything you want in a partner and your girlfriend checks off most of them, it may be difficult for you to realize the big ways she's not measuring up to what you need out of a relationship. Even worse, if you're with someone who consistently puts you down, your confidence may have shrunk, making it less likely that you'll be able to break out on your own. A guy may stay in a bad relationship purely based on his insecurities, the biggest of them being the fear of being alone. Thomas Edwards, founder of the Professional Wingman, says, they may also believe they won't be able to do any better for themselves. The longer you stay with someone who doesn't make you feel like the best version of yourself, you're wasting time, not only finding the right girl for you, but building your own independent life. Bottom line, if she makes you feel like a jackass most of the time, it's time to hit the road. 2. She's always negative and never happy. It's healthy for every couple to have fights and disagreements as a way for you both to find common ground and learn to compromise. But if you're nervous about coming home from a night out with the guys because she'll attack you with questions, or no matter what date night you plan, she's never satisfied, her attitude could be causing you major unhappiness. If she's a Debbie Downer, she's likely bringing the people around her down as well, which can affect your relationship with her but also the relationships with your friends, as they will be reluctant to be around her, Edwards says. While it's totally normal for anyone to go through a period of time where they don't feel their best or their most hopeful, if you can't remember the last time she was happy about anything, you should consider what she's bringing to your life and if she should have a place in it. 3. She tries to change you, okay? So maybe your ex-girlfriend taught you how to dress better, and your post-college lover finally taught you how to have sex that puts the woman first, bless her. But when it comes to the big fundamentals of who you are, what you believe, what you value, and what you desire out of life, Your partner shouldn't try to transform what's important to you. While she may help you see a different perspective, Edward says that if you're constantly answering how high when she asks you to jump, it's a big sign that she's manipulating you. Big time. Remember all those things she loved about you when you first started dating? If she no longer likes those things and wants to change them, it's not a good sign, he says. Your willingness to sacrifice things that make you who you are is an unhealthy habit to form. 4. She puts a wedge between you and those you love. One of the big perks of having a solid relationship is getting to integrate this new person into all of things you love. It should be exciting and fun to have your girl come out with you or have dinner with your family, not stressful. Pat notes that if a girlfriend is constantly trying to get you to prioritize her over everyone else or never wants to be around those you're the closest to, that can be an early sign of emotional abuse. Your girlfriend can't be your entire life, and she shouldn't want to be. 5. You're unhappy. The biggest sign your girlfriend is bad news. You're unhappy. And the longer you stay in a relationship that isn't bringing joy, growth, or love to your life, the more unhappy you're going to become. Staying in that relationship can destroy a guy's life in many ways. You could lose your friends, your confidence, and most importantly, your sense of self-worth, Edwards says. Such a destructive relationship can certainly lead to depression and other emotional instability, which can affect future relationships. Finally, my advice to women in abusive relationships. Domestic violence against women. Recognize patterns. Seek help. Domestic violence is a serious threat for many women. Know the signs of an abusive relationship and how to leave a dangerous situation. Your partner apologizes and says the hurtful behavior won't happen again, but you fear it will. At times you wonder whether you're imagining the abuse, yet the emotional or physical pain you feel is real. If this sounds familiar, you might be experiencing domestic violence. Recognize domestic violence. Domestic violence, also called intimate partner violence, occurs between people in an intimate relationship. Domestic violence can take many forms, including emotional, sexual, and physical abuse and threats of abuse. Abuse by a partner can happen to anyone, but domestic violence is most often directed toward women. Domestic violence can happen in heterosexual and same-sex relationships. Abusive relationships always involve an imbalance of power and control. An abuser uses intimidating, hurtful words and behaviors to control a partner. It might not be easy to identify domestic violence at first. While some relationships are clearly abusive from the outset, abuse often starts subtly and gets worse over time. You might be experiencing domestic violence if you're in a relationship with someone who calls you names, insults you or puts you down, prevents or discourages you from going to work or school or seeing family members or friends, tries to control how you spend money, where you go, what medicines you take or what you wear, acts jealous or possessive or constantly accuses you of being unfaithful, gets angry when drinking alcohol or using drugs, threatens you with violence or a weapon, hits, kicks, shoves, slaps, chokes or otherwise hurts you, your children or your pets, forces you to have sex or engage in sexual acts against your will, blames you for his or her violent behavior or tells you that you deserve it. If you're in a same-sex relationship or if you're bisexual or transgender, you might also be experiencing abuse if you're in a relationship with someone who threatens to tell friends, family, colleagues, or community members your sexual orientation or gender identity, tells you that authorities won't help you because of your sexuality or gender identity, justifies abuse by questioning your sexuality or gender identity. Break the cycle. If you're in an abusive situation, you might recognize this pattern. Your abuser threatens violence. Your abuser strikes. Your abuser apologizes, promises to change, and offers gifts. The cycle repeats itself. The longer you stay in an abusive relationship, the greater the physical and emotional toll. You might become depressed and anxious, or you might begin to doubt your ability to take care of yourself. You might feel helpless or paralyzed. You may also wonder if the abuse is your fault, a common point of confusion among survivors of domestic abuse that may make it more difficult to seek help. Don't take the blame. You may not be ready to seek help because you believe you're at least partially to blame for the abuse in the relationship.